I'll read from 3 of the many New Departures publications we've brought. And if you didn't get this flyer, on the back of it there's an appeal for any leads to a big space in London where we can collate and catalogue our 6-decade-long archive of counterculture. So if any of you might have a clue to how we could find such a space that we could afford, or even free as an act of patronage, please tell me afterwards. And whether you can do that or not, if you want to know about future New Departures, live New Departures, our CD and book, Lyrical Soulmates, etc., do give me your emails if I don't have them already. So I perform from 3 of those. This is Word, Sounds and Sightlines, a book of my shorter poems. And there's a series within this book of revisitations to places where English poets wrote about the place. So there's Wordsworth's Westminster Bridge and Matthew Arnold's Dover Beach and Rupert Brooks, whatever, the place where now Geoffrey Archer sits, called Grantchester. To see Lord Archer's stately pile, past which massed cars and tourists file. Say, is he within, the fragrant fellow, churning out some crass bestseller? That's the middle quatrain of Grantchester in our time. Here's Gray's Elegy in a Country Churchyard, revisited in 2 quatrains. You know, the curfew tolls the knell of parting day. The ploughman homeward plods his weary way. So my version goes, the traffic snarls up the motorway. Low jet planes fire sharp shudders through the trees. Where Gray wrote truth, the golfers swing and sway, do deals, curse fate, write checks before high teas. In Slough, night falls, unheard from Newtown Tower. Across still graveyards, owls bewail the pain of a moon unblessed by love's immortal flower, just man's brief flag of pride and strife and gain. So now I'll perform from 2 of the anthologies. This is Pot Poetry Olympus 2005, where we revisited Albert Hall, where 40 years before we'd filled it to overflowing with international poetry. I'll perform again a piece I performed that evening in June 1965 by Kurt Schwitters, along with Ernst Jandl and Pete Brown. And Brown and I had taken great advantage of the lavish hospitalities. So if you look at the film Holy Communion, you see us staggering about, not delivering Schwitters' sound poem very well. And Ernst Jandl, a sort of physicist of sound poetry, is looking pitiably at this travesty of Schwitters' wondrously orderly revisitation to a sneeze, which runs stone cold sober as I am now, more like this than the film version you might have seen or still see. A fury of sneezing. Tesh, heish, chia, heish, chia, heish, hapaish. Apaish, 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 chia. Thank you for Kurt Schwitters. This is from the Pop anthology. All these anthologies are kind of hymn books for the events in which the different writers represented took part. The Poetry Olympics Party of 20,000. There's a poem among several by Allen Ginsberg, quite short for him, again haiku-like, Maturity. And Ginsberg's one of the few people, let alone poets I know, who actually did change from being a very angry youngster who kept moaning. You see it on the back of his record of Howl, the first version. I don't care about dull materialist vagaries about who should shoot whom. My poetry is angelical ravings. And then he went through various other phases and became a gentle rabbi-like teacher in Brooklyn College and in his own Boulder, Colorado, Jack Kerouac Disembodied School of Poetics, which is a great venue, which is commemorating a book that's recently come out from Penguins called The Best Minds of My Generation. So this is Maturity. The poem's much shorter than that intro. Young, I drank beer and vomited green bile. Older, drank wine, vomited blood red. Now I vomit